Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday night. It's Sim Race South Africa Division 2. It's season 2021.2. My name is Alan Patterson, and I'm bringing you coverage of the GT3 series this evening. I'm alone here in the booth tonight, so without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. And as you can see, it is raining. It's pretty much identical to what happened for the Division 1 guys on Monday night. So I'm expecting we're going to have some exciting racing here this evening. Full house as far as entries go. I was having a look on Division 3, and in practice before the start of their quali, they had drizzle, but I didn't have a chance to have a look now because I'm locked into this server. 31 entries or 31 drivers tonight. That's what I can see on my timing screen. So it's going to be an action-packed evening of racing for Division 2. Couple of fast people here that will or should dominate the race this evening. One of them being the young Junior McCall. But let's see how it goes. This weather does even out a lot of the racing when it comes to racecraft and car handling. Currently, as you can see, Junior McCall 140.9, and he's almost a second clear of the field with Antonucci in second, Ronald Charles then another second further back. So the gap's quite big from 1 to 22. He's 4 seconds. But again, that is expected. We should still see some good close dicing all the way up and down the grid tonight. A couple of people we haven't seen for a while. I see Mark van Rensburg's here, so welcome back, Mark. Marius Skumman's here. Sim Race Extreme. Here he is. And Amrish Sunarain. Lindsay Hans, Kubus Russ. My man Peter Geldenhuis, our other commentator, and head of his team. He's also here racing tonight, Division 2. Hein van Niekerk. Mr. Leach, James Leach himself from OC Breweries. He's here in his big Aston Martin. Car's looking awesome. Good looking liveries. Dylan Dawes, another Aston Martin. Stefan Herbst is here in the Rover Oil Porsche. My favorite livery, that. Ronald Charles, he's out the pits. Ronald Charles for BWR. And I was commentating the other night on one of the other leagues how awesome the BWR liveries are looking. Cars are looking really good. So we should see them do quite well here tonight. So just under 20 minutes of qualifying to go, and have a good look at that weather chart up there. It's got 2 rows of drizzle, then 1 row, and then nothing in 30 minutes. So the weather is going to get less as we get towards the end of qualifying. Let's hope it's the same for the race, but we can only wait and see, as this is all calculated on the ACC weather dynamic system. We do our best to try and select the most interesting weather systems, and I think Nick and Sus have done a great job based on what we felt and saw on Monday night. Junior McCall, he is there in the pits. You can do a helicam view. Yep, there he is, ATK Academy driver. He's the youngster of the 2 brothers, as you all know by now. He's 12, 13. he will hopefully not have any problems, and we should see him pretty much at the sharp end of the stick the entire race tonight. Valerio Antonucci also sitting in the pits. And let me get this team name right, just so that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Project Peanuts Vale. Cheers to everybody who's just joined me on the YouTube channel. First man who was out there and waiting, Gerrit van Vieren. How's it, Gerrit, for Logistical Nightmare? Gert Snyman was there. He was watching some cool paint dry. Ruben Kruger, good evening. Elsie Rue. And Elsie Rue saying, I'm Jared. Hey, Jared, how's it? Hello, Rob. How's it, buddy? Nathia Peterson shouting for the man, Yassine Manuel. Yassine Manuel for the win. Let's go and see where he is. He's down here in 24th. So he's got to make up some time. Yassine in one of the nice default Porsche liveries. And Yassine racing for Absolute Racing. Just going into the kitty litter and back to the pit lane. Emily Bentz also sitting in the pit lane. Jordan van Rensburg. Alright, we're now down to 29. So I've had 2 drivers disconnect already. So 2 drivers have felt it's a little bit difficult, or it's a bit rough or whatever. Jordan van Rensburg out there in his Aston Martin. Just looking quickly from the top of the timing grid, as we see Henry Roux here in his Lexus. Mercedes, Bentley, Aston, some Ferraris, a Porsche. Stefan Herbst doing well in a Porsche. Second Bentley, that's Craig Hunter in 9th. First Lexus, Henry Roux here in 12th. Another bunch of Porsche, Ferraris. Another Lexus, another Porsche. First Audi, Calvin Diogo down in 22nd. What's further down the field? Another Lexus, a few more Lexus and some Bentleys. So no BMWs here tonight, no Nissans, and one lonesome Audi. Possibly only 1 or 2 Mercedes. So limited, one Mercedes in fact. One Audi, one Mercedes. Right, 15 minutes, 14 and a half minutes of qualifying left, or just under 15 minutes at least. And the rain is supposed to be getting less. We shall see what we shall see. Okay, YouTube. Jared, LC Rue. Hi, I'm Jared. Car 241 is my brother-in-law. Okie dokie. Who is car 241? Mr. Holzhauser. Brandon Holzhauser. There we go. So here's Brandon. Brandon racing independent, man alone. And this is Jared's brother-in-law. Rob, Emily, I'm not too sure. I don't know if she is family. If she is, I just find it odd that she doesn't have an official livery. But anyway. Junior still just chilling in the pits. His quickest is still quite safe, although Ronald Childs has got within 7/10. So Ronald going as hard as he can with the Bentley. Ryan van Wyk now up into third place. Ryan van Wyk of Holsun Motorsports in a Ferrari, so he's doing quite well. He has in fact passed Valerio Antonucci. Valerio out in his Aston Martin, also part of Project Peanuts Vale, and he's still 9/10 off, so quite a big split. And there we go, Mr. van Rensburg, as I expected, would get up to the sharp end of the stick, and here he is. Vancraft Racing, Mark van Rensburg, and he's up into 5th place in his Porsche. Francois Erasmus in 6th place. Stefan Herbst 8th in the row racing Porsche. So 2 Porsches are up there. Now 9th, because why? Mark van Rensburg gets bumped to 7th. James Stroud goes up into 3rd place. So Mr. James Stroud, part of the NSRR racing team, he is with Sas van der Westhuizen. And he goes straight up into 3rd. And back where I was, Lindsay Hunts in 10th in his Ferrari, also part of the NSRR team, not so independent racing. So Lindsay and James Stroud, teamies here this evening. Frank Swiggerla in the pits for Vancraft Racing. So Frank and Mark van Rensburg are teammates this evening. Dievel Kotze, 13th place. Dievel Kotze, Team Mayhem. It's a nice looking Aston, matte black with blood red highlights. That looks very effective. Henry Ruin, 14th. Dylan Dawes here in 15th place. Dylan Dawes for Project Peanuts. I think these team names. Mr. Caldenace himself in the pits in the Lexus. Simrace Africa crew. Amrish Sinarain for official Bentley Team Sport. It's an excellent looking Bentley that. It raced at Kyalami in the 9 hours. And Bradley Taylor in 18th for Vancraft Racing. Jotun van Aswegen, also NSIR. And rounding out the top 20, it's Hein van Niekerk, LLC Hein. James Leach, 21 for OC Breweries. Marius Skuman, 22nd. Stephen Kenny, also NSIR, in 23rd. So 4 men from Team NSIR this evening. I don't have a livery for the Stephen Kenny Mercedes by the looks of things. Here's a new chap by the name of Donovan Denoon. Brand Circle Motorsports. That is a nice looking Porsche. Donovan Denoon. Gerard Pretorius in 25th place for SRE Apex. And Quibus Russ, another NSIR driver, so that makes 5 of them already. Emily Bentz, independent. Oh. Calvin Diogo, 28th, FYGT Racing. 29th, Rob Walker, Odin Racing. And now I've got more people on the server. Jordan van Rensburg's here. Jordan van Rensburg for Project Peanuts. Yassine Manuel, Absolute Racing in the Porsche. And Thomas Trollope is here for TRT. So we're at 32 at the moment. And Thomas in another Audi. So we've got 2 Audis here. Steve Kenny's also here in a Merc. So now we have 2 Mercs here. So there we go. Right, we are down to 8 minutes. Ran Sooner Rain on the YouTube. Good evening. I have to agree with you, sir. Amrish's Bentley. Car looks ridiculously good. This was raced at for Team M Sport, Jordan Pepper, etc., and it was raced at the Kyle Army 9 hours. It's a great looking car. LC Roo. Oh, Jared. Glad you think this is so cool, man. Enjoy the stream, enjoy the motor racing, buddy. 7.5 minutes to go. So, oh, let me show you this quickly. The weather forecast. This was as was expected and promoted last week. 5 o'clock race start, 5 to 9. 16 degrees Celsius ambient temperature. We saw that as I think between 10 and 15 degrees track temp, and scattered rain showers. It rained the entire race on Monday night, so we should be in for some good racing. And anyone interested or want to find out more about Sim Race South Africa or this sport, pop on over to our website, www.simracesa.co.za. There it is on the screen. Have a look at the website. There's also a link to join our Discord channel, and you will be able to find out a whole lot more right there on what it is we get up to, the various series we race, and what's all involved in this sport called sim racing. Also, on the right hand side of the screen, you can see the logo Abba. That is our support to charity for season 2 this year of 2021. We to race in our league, in our sim series, all drivers and anybody else, sponsors for that matter, or whoever, they are required or asked to make a donation of 150 Rand, and that money goes directly into the bank account for the charity. This season, as all the other seasons, Jason Holden Jones chose to select Abba. It's a charity organization for newborn babies, finding adoptive parents, I think, and helping them to get their best step on life. And to date, we have raised for this charity 30,183 Rand, and that has taken approximately July, August, so maybe just on 2 months to raise that amount of money. So to all the drivers, all the team captains, all the sponsors, we take our hats off to you. Thank you very much for all these entries, all the contributions. You have in fact definitely helped this charity organization. We did get a fantastic report back from the previous charity, who we managed to raise a total of 37,000 Rand for. So the money goes to a great cause, and it just goes to show the people, the men behind this league and those involved, they're all real gentlemen, and congrats and well done to all of you. Right, we are nearing the end of qualifying. Junior 140.9, he is pretty much there. However, we have another change up at the top end of the grid here with Francois Erasmus for no team, but Francois Erasmus getting within a tenth of Junior. So Francois got very quick in the rain now, and he is close. Amrish Sinarain doing an amazing job in the big Bentley, and he is now in third place, also 1.5 tenths off young junior's time. Mark van Rensburg is 6/10 back in 4th place. And rounding out the top 5, Ryan van Wyk, who moves into 5th place. 6.5 back off junior's time. So there we go. As you can see, all the way down to 11th place now. We have 11 cars separated by a second. So it's definitely got a lot closer. I cannot tell you if it is any less as far as the rain goes. Let's go on board with Francois Erasmus, see what it looks like out his car. It definitely looks like it's getting less. There isn't too much spray coming off the... Alright, he's just making a gap for him. He's going to give it another flying lap here. So we'll stay on board. Got to feather it through this long right-hander. You cannot flat stick it. Down we go, down the main straight. And into T1. Sharp right-hand hairpin. This track built in the dunes in Holland, the Netherlands. Literally the sea is about 30 meters to your left. Second of the hairpins here. Another tricky corner. Let's go and see if Francois is in fact up here and he's this one. There we go. Right, so he's 1.5 tenths down, as you can see in the top left-hand corner. That little box is red up there at the top, and that gives you your average delta as you go around the lap through the various sectors. So he's 2 tenths off his quickest lap at the moment. It's a little bit of yellow flag there, but it's gone. You can still get this if he... there we go. So now he's going into positive delta. As you can see, he's gone 1/10 up. So if he can get through the last quick chicane here, and then 2 more corners onto the start-finish line, hopefully this Bentley up ahead doesn't hold him up. This looks like Emily Benz up ahead. He is still 1.5 tenths up. So this is going to put him very close to Junior McCall. Round this right-hander. Now one more. Oh, is he going to get past? He is. He did lose a bit of time there, and he's just dropped down in his delta. But he's going to make another lap. 30 seconds left. So he was on course to take pole there. We'll follow him round for his last lap here. Through the first sector is pretty much the status quo as it is. He doesn't improve. He doesn't lose too much time. You can see he's very close to his delta. Starting the middle sector now. He's got yellow flags. You can see there's a little yellow. Okay, that car's out the way. Flag should fall away. And he's almost up again on his delta. So he's carrying good pace. Is Francois Erasmus. Comes through a little tricky section here, and then this little right left, and here's where he starts going into green figures. So he's good up to here, and then here it goes quick. There we go. It goes 1/10 up, 2 tenths. He's quick through here, 2.5 tenths. Right, into the chicane, hard on the brakes, goes up 3.5 tenths. 4 tenths. This is quick. He's almost half a second quicker. This will definitely put him on pole if he can just get the last 2 corners now. It's this right-hander and then the fast right-hander onto the start-finish. Oh, he loses a lot of time there. He's lost a lot of time through that corner, and look at that. It just dissipates. He was right on it, I'll tell you what. So that'll be Francois done. Who else is on a quick lap? Joten van Asveken. He is well past half a second up on his lap time. He's going to go from 17th up to... He goes all the way up to 10th. So good finish there for Joten. Alright, there we go. That is pretty much the end of quali. I'm going to get everything set and go back to our broadcasting screen. and as you can see, the rain is here, and 3 clouds worth of rain in that little top weather forecast, so it's as good as it can be. We're going to take a very quick ad break, and we will be back with you shortly, so hang on for us, yeah? Drivers are all getting ready, making sure of their strategies, checking the car setups, checking fuel, checking tire pressures. Saw some interesting strats happening on Monday night. Some people pitting early, some people pitted 50-50, others ran almost a full hour longer, 1 hour 20 minutes, and then pitted. This is a 90-minute race. It's a long distance. You have to pit. Predominantly more so for fuel than anything else, but we are going to see pit stops come into play. Junior McCall then on pole position. He was almost dethroned in the dying moments there by Mr. Francois Erasmus, who's next to him. Francois showing he's got some potential in the Aston to go quick. Second row of the grid, Amrish Sunarain in his Bentley, and he's next to Valerio Antonucci. Third row, you can see Ronald Childs and Brandon Holtzhausen. That's the BWR Black Widow Racing Bentley. Ronald Childs in the Ronald Childs in the Bentley. Brandon Holtzhausen, Mark van Rensburg in the Porsche. Fourth row. Further back, Hein van Niekerk, Ryan van Wyk, and Joten van Asweken rounds out the top 10. Right, there we go. Everyone's pulling off. They're going to do the compulsory 1 lap pace lap. Then we'll see them all come round, and they'll form up into their double line formation. Got to run between 65 and 70 kilometers an hour, and the lights will go green and we'll be up and away. How are your nerves, Rob? "32 cars on the grid. Thomas Trollope in 32nd place. It's Robert Walker and Calvin Diogo at the back end of the grid. Good looking conditions for a race here in Holland. This is exactly what it looks like. I have been there a few times and I really enjoy the country. Amsterdam's amazing, but there's some stunning outer lying little towns. Gouda being one of them. Good friend of mine who lives there, Mr. Tamar Nelwyn. I am going to keep my camera on Mr. Antonucci, who's in 4th place, and we'll watch this start from the helicam, and hopefully we'll get the first couple of corners. In fact, I'll switch to Amrish Sunarayan's Bentley. Right, there we go. You see the field now lining up into 2 rows. A little bit of a gap there further back. Ronald Childs needs to pick up the pace a bit, but it looks like he wants to get a run at the cars ahead of him. So there they go. There's the green light and they're up and away. And Young Junior gets the jump on Francois Erasmus into T1. Here we go, the Concertini effect, and hopefully there at the back the Porsche gets punted. A little bit of contact, but off we go with the leading bunch. Young Junior's off and running. Francois in the Aston being pressurized by Sunarayan and Antonucci. And they're through the first couple of corners, and here we go. We're up and running. It's Mercedes from Aston, from Bentley, from Aston, from Bentley. Hello, Sean Stradham on the YouTube. Welcome, buddy. Anthony Moritz, how's it? Also shouting for James Stroud. Good of you guys to join us right on the start of the race, but yeah, hopefully we'll have some good racing going on here. Just watching the main leading group go through for the first lap or two, and then we'll start looking for where the dices are. Immediately I can see Ronald Childs in his Bentley in 5th place looking at the back of Antonucci. So he wants to get a move on. And in the background, it's Ferrari, Holzhausen, Herbst, and Hein van Niekerk. So dicing, it's all starting to happen. Right, here we go into the start-finish line. Ronald Childs gets huge drive with that Bentley, and it looks like Antonucci's got to run defensively. They're almost 3 abreast. Sunarayan up the inside. Antonucci trying to go around the outside, and that lets a big hole open up. And that Bentley is going right through that hole and runs a little bit wide. Aston comes back up the inside and goes right through. That was amazing. There was some great driving going on there, actually. Charles and Antonucci, as well as Sunarayan, knowing exactly where the other man is, giving each other all the space. Oh, he gets a little bit of a slide as he goes through there. And wow, look at Junior McCall, 1.6 seconds up the road already from Franz Erasmus. So Francois going to have to do some work to catch up to that youngster. Sean Stradham shouting for Aston for the win. Well, let's see. Antonucci now looking to attack. Amrish Sunarayan watching in his mirrors in the M Sport Bentley. Definitely it's going to be between these 3. It's either Mercedes, Bentley or Aston. I am not prepared to put money on this race, but I've got a feeling young Junior McCall, unless he gets caught up in somebody else's problems, he's going to run away with this one. Right, here we go, onto the start-finish line. And Antonucci gets a good drive this time, and he's holding on to the tail lights of Sunarayan's Bentley, and Amrish running defensive up against the pit wall, covering that inside line. Antonucci trying to go around the outside, and again leaves a hole open there. Oh, and there's a little bit of something going on, but Amrish has lost out, and I don't actually know what happened there. Amrish Sunarayan's lost 2 positions. I think he maybe got a little bit of a tank slapper going on. And he has gone. He got hung out on the outside of T1. That allowed Antonucci and Ronald Childs to go through. So Amrish just needs to settle down here. In the background, we can see Mr. Holzhausen closing in as well. Let's go and see what's happening further down the pack. Here's Mr. Stroud himself in 8th place. James Stroud for NSIR, and he's already got a bit of a gap ahead and behind him. Down to 17th, Mr. Geldenhuis. Oh! Almost hammers the back of that Porsche. Porsche manages to get away, and there's a position change going on there. Aston Martin going through. I think that's Van Rensburg. So Peter Geldenhuis managing to hang on to his Lexus. That was very close. All right, we're running 6 minutes in, and there is young Junior McCall. Hammers over the start finish line into T1 and starting lap 3. He is currently his best lap of 142.2, which was his last lap. So Junior settling down, getting into the rhythm of things. Long way to go, but we'll see how he manages. Francois Erasmus a 142.7. Valerio Antonucci a 142.7. So first, second, third place drivers all doing 42.7s. Ronald Charles in fourth, a 43.5. Getting a little bit spread out now. Umrish in his Bentley a 45, so he's struggling with pace. And Brandon Holzhausen also 1 minute 45 on his last lap. Craig Wesley, how's it on the YouTube? Yassine Manuel down in 22. Managing to get a decent start. Porsche's looking alright. And a little bit of a bumping on the back there, I think. So it looks like he might have had a bit of collision work. 6 seconds off the back, just up ahead of him, Thomas Trollope. He's got a great start. Thomas was down in 30th somewhere. He's up to 21st. So he's getting pedaling in the Audi and looking very racy here as he closes in on the back of Calvin Diogo. And there's a whole pile of traffic up ahead here. Trollope goes right past Diogo. Audi on Audi action. It's done. Pass has happened. So Trollope essentially doing a drive back right from the back of the grid. Next in line, Gerard Pretorius in the Lexus. We'll go in car with Thomas Trollope. You can see this man's pace. Short shifting to get the traction through that corner. And now coming up the start-finish line, there's a slow car up on the right-hand side here. It looks like a Lindsay Hunts in the NSIR Ferrari. Right, into braking, and here we're going to have a bit of traffic now. Just up ahead of them also is Rob Walker for Odin Racing. Trollope trying to work out now how he can get past here. No change up at the top. In fact, it's all spreading out a lot more, so I'm going to leave the top 5 as it is. Just watching this dice for the moment. 10th place, Mr. Mario Skuman and Steve Kenny, etc. Here is a whole bunch of traffic. These guys all dicing for position here. We have James Stroud ahead of them in the Ferrari. Mario Skuman here in the Lexus with Steve Kenny just behind him in that Mercedes. Then we have Van Wyk in his Ferrari and Craig Hunter in his car. Oh dear, that is Van Wyk, I think. Who just ran deep there? Yes, it was. It's Ryan Van Wyk. Holsun Motorsports. And he almost got stuck in that sand trap at the chicane. Comes out of it, but he's fallen off the back of these guys now. Oh, going to Jordan van Rensburg here. Jordan van Rensburg and Henry Roux. This is a Lexus with Aston. And Jordan looking very much like he wants to get past here. He's all over the back of Mr. Roux. Let's see if Henry Henry is kind of running middle of the road. Jordan thinking about it. Hard braking. Round T1. Right, I've had a few disconnections. Lawrence Sterner is no longer here. Mark van Rensburg's gone missing in his Porsche. Dewald Kotze's gone missing. James Leach is down here in 29th. He's essentially last man on the track. So he must have had a drama somewhere. He has, in fact. No, sorry, ahead of him. Donovan Denoon, Swiegela, Van Aswegen and Russ. All of them have pitted already. And yeah, this Aston showing a little bit worse for wear. So there must have been some problems further back on the grid. Back up to the front end of the grid, and Ronald Childs in his BWR Bentley looking at Mr. Francois Erasmus, who gets a little bit squirrely through T1, and the Bentley's close. Ryan Hill on the YouTubes, how's it, buddy? Sorry, man. Yeah, work is work. Rent must be paid. It's all understandable. This race and this track, I have to say, it's about a huge element of patience and another big element of luck, and then an even bigger element of skill. Definitely some chances will come to the drivers waiting for them, but there's also a couple of drivers that are pushing, and it's either going to go north or south, depending on what their luck's like. We'll come back and see what's going on here. I'm going to, excuse me, Mr. Hunter here in 12th place. Craig Hunter in his Bentley, and he's looking at Marius Skuman just up ahead of him in this Lexus. Oh my word, that was a little bit of a, well, he at least nicely knocked the Lexus straight, but that wasn't any good. So Mr. Hunter, he isn't slowing down. Although Marius Skuman is going again, but now Craig Hunter runs into the trap. This could be his way of slowing down. Oh, comes across the front of the Ferrari. Let's see if he actually does, in fact, give this position back. And there's Sas van der Westhuizen on the YouTubes as well. He's shouting for his 5-man team, Team NSRR, here in Div2 tonight. Right, so lap 7, and here we have Junior McCall, who is already cutting his way through some of the traffic. Francois Erasmus 8.3 seconds back now, so Junior, as I expected, literally going to drive around a lot of cars here tonight. Francois Erasmus here in second place in his Aston, and not too far back, Mr. Antonucci bringing Ronald Childs with him. So second, third and fourth, here they are in one picture. Going to hang around here for a bit. You can see Umrish not too far back in his Bentley. So should there be any issues here, or a turnaround or a nudge, Umrish will also be able to jump on that. Hey Moritz on YouTube, how's it, buddy? Also shouting for not so independent racing. And yes, as I feel for you. Roadworthy, etc., etc. Not fun. May the force be with you. May the force be with you. Right, there we go. We have been running for 15 minutes already. And McCall's out, gone 8 laps. 8.5 seconds up the road from Francois Erasmus, but this is the race for 3rd, 4th, 5th. No, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Someone's in the sand. Oh, there was a car in the sand there. I think, I can't tell you who that was actually. And why is Dylan Dawes not showing on the timing screen? Oh, here he comes now. Okay, so it's all good with Dylan. He's coming through here now. Is that car still stuck in the sand? No, it looks like it's going. So there was somebody off the track there for a moment. And they were getting blue flags. Oh, car 20, Yassine Manuel. Oh, was it Yassine who was having problems? I'm not too sure, but the traffic here is thick. This is Yassine Manuel and B. Taylor. And Calvin Diogo is actually, yeah, we've lost the Ferrari in this dice. So, where is... No, there's Bradley Taylor. So that was, that's why they were so close. He was getting overtaken. Front of that Ferrari is looking a little bit second hand. So... Oh, is that Gerard Pretorius? No, it's not. Who's that Lexus? Rob Walker? No, Odin Racing. Here's Rob. Oh, catch it! And that's a bit of a commentator's curse. As I put my camera on him, he managed to turn around. But he's sorted it out. He's going again. Okay, let's go back up there. Lindsay Hunts, here he is. There was a Lexus in amongst this bunch. Was it Henry Roux? No, Henry Roux's up and running. He's gone in 16th. So I think they were lapping one of the slower Lexus. Yassine Manuel, Calvin Diogo having a huge dice. Here they come. Let's try and see who that is. Jotun. It's Jotun van Aswegen. Here we go. Alright, so he went in for an early pit stop in 26, so he's being lapped at the moment by these guys. But he'll be driving to the end, hopefully. So that's the Lexus in amongst this dice. Right, back we go. Francois Erasmus and Valerio Antonucci and Ronald Charles. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. All looks pretty static here. There's Amrish Sinarain in the distance. He's just come onto the into the picture. Brandon Holzhausen chasing him. Brandon in 6th place in his Ferrari. Sus shouting on the YouTubes, go Jotun, go. No Rob, no. And Lexus was Jotun, thank you. I managed to catch that. Chris, how's it, buddy? Morne Brett, good evening. And he's shouting for Donovan Dunoon. And Donovan got a whole bunch of support from his office, yeah? So he's the new guy, unless I'm not too sure, but currently in 28th. So one off the back of the grid. He had a rough start, unfortunately. He has already been in the pits. He's completed his compulsory pit stop. That car does look awesome, I must say. And that is brand Circle Motorsports. It's a good looking livery. So Donovan should be able to run for the rest of the race. However, I don't think the Porsche can. He pitted literally in the first 5 or 10 minutes. So I don't think there's enough fuel on board. He might have to pit again. But anyway, he's in and he's going. And yeah, we'll see how he comes along. James Stroud, NSIR, and he is in 9th place. Holding on to a solid position there. Mr. Taylor in 21st, Bradley Taylor, him and Calvin Diogo, they are hammer and tongs at it. In fact, there's a bit of contact as I focus on Bradley Taylor. So we're going to go on board, helmet view, and we'll see how close these two are. Through that little right-left chicane, also tricky corner. And then this double right-hander. Can hear the wailing of the Audi up ahead, and this the Ferrari, the 8-cylinder. And look at the drive Bradley Taylor gets, and here he comes up the inside. We'll go to helicam, but Bradley Taylor's got an awesome drive, and he's licked it and centered up the inside. Holding on to his braking point. Hope he doesn't outbrake himself, which he doesn't. And nice clean pass there by Bradley Taylor on Calvin Diogo on Bradley Taylor. Right, onwards they go. And see what else is happening here. Marius, come on. Go to Marius in 13th place, and he's half a second off the back of Ryan van Wyk. So Ryan van Wyk in his Ferraris had a couple of off-road excursions, and the front of his Ferrari looking a little bit worse for wear. Marius, however, closing in the Lexus, ever stable, ever reliable. Lexus thunders onto the start-finish line, and he is closing in on the Ferrari, hand over fist. Right, 1 hour, 8 minutes to go. They've almost been going for 30 minutes. Marius closing in on the back of Van Wyk. He's looking at the deltas. Oh my word, Ronald Charles, look at this. Ronald Charles for BWR, he's now had enough. He is... Oh, and Antonucci... As I get there, Antonucci does a little bit of a how's your mother and sends the Aston round. So he has in fact lost that place. Ronald Charles up into 3rd place. Antonucci drops 1 back. And now Charles looking at the back end of Erasmus just up the road. Oh, there's a car in the sand here. That looked like that Lexus, actually. No, it wasn't Marius. It was somebody else. There's a slow NSIR Ferrari here. Is that Lindsay Hunt's, I think? It is. So Taylor's caught up to the back of Hunt's. And Hunts's Ferrari also looking a little bit worse for wear. This is a very tricky left-right section here. Yassine Manuel in the pits, as is James Leach. So they're all struggling back there. And in for pit stops on the hour. That's very clever, Ryan. I didn't think of it like that. So it's Ryan's eagle eye working out who in fact drives on the bonnet. Mind you, they could be driving, I suppose, a chase cam as well. But if you're not in the cockpit, you don't turn the windscreen wipers on. So any cars that you don't see the windscreen wipers moving, you know that they're not in cockpit. Taylor looking at Hunt's and trying to work. Oh, Hunts's Ferrari is looking very second hand. All that nice vinyl wrap work has all been scraped and bumped and dented on almost every side of the car. Craig Hunter in 11th place. Looking at the back of Steve Kenny, also for NSIR, and he's closing in. I think I might have just left. I did. As I left these three, the position changed, and Lindsay Hunts has been taken by Taylor. Sorry about that, chaps. Ran sooner ran. Amrish from 14th to 3rd. That was a great start. I'm not too sure about that though, Ran. I think Amrish was in 4th or 5th place quali. And so he's pretty much net where he started. He wasn't that far back, I'm convinced. In fact, I'm going to go and check that on the stream because I can. Yeah. Amrish Sunaran was 3rd actually, so he qualified 3rd. So he's essentially gone backwards 2 positions. Junior McCall, 15 laps, and he is up the road by 15 seconds now over Francois Erasmus. Francois Erasmus is starting to feel the pressure of this man, Ronald Charles. He is right here. So they're now arriving in amongst some lap traffic, and Francois needs to get through this traffic as quickly as he can. That traffic got out the way for him there. Ronald Childs, he's also got past. So here we're on board with Ronald Childs, looking up ahead at Mr. Erasmus. Melvin Coase, how's it? It's wet and it's fun. That it is. Ryan saying speeding in pit lane penalty for car 333. Really? So somebody has got a pit lane speeding penalty. Just trying to find them. Oh, it's James Leach. You're right. He's got a stop go 30. Here he is. He's driving in. James, that's just unforgivable, buddy. You know this by now. Right. Donovan Denoon. Now up into 28th. Sass, eagle-eyed, looking at the weather, and in 10 minutes it goes to light rain. It kind of showed that logo in quali, and it didn't get any lighter than it was. So we'll have to wait to see what happens here. Right, James Leach doing that stop go and getting that out the way. That's yeah, it's that's a terrible thing to get, I must say. So trying to look for close deltas at the moment, and Van Rensburg in 13th is the closest. Jordan van Rensburg looking at Marius Skuman in the Lexus. This for position, with Hunter in the Bentley just behind. And Van Wyk in the Ferrari just ahead. So close race going on here. Van Rensburg gets a good drive out of this corner, and Marius struggling with the Lexus out there. Marius running up against the pit wall, defending that position, and in the background there goes Hunter into the pits. Oh, talk about a lick and send there by Van Rensburg. That was optimistic. Jeez, he was nowhere. That was far too far back. Gonna quickly jump and go and look at that on replay. Yeah, they come down the main straight. It's Skuman running defensive, and then right at the end, Van Rensburg licks it and sends it and misses the braking point, and that's that. It was a good try. You got to give him credit. Right, Hunt in the pits. There we go. Oh, Ronald Childs in third. Look here. Let's jump up. Ronald Childs, look, Erasmus having to look a little bit defensively. Here comes the Bentley. It's coming onto point. Right, 1 hour, 60 minutes left of this race. They've been driving for 30 minutes. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, pretty much all static. No position changes here. 1 or 2, but Charles now closing in on Erasmus. So the traffic clearly is playing a part in this. But Charles applying the pressure and has been for the past 20 minutes. Yes, agreed, Sus. Great awareness there for spotting that. Skuman just didn't turn in. Charles pushing. I think the only BWR car here this evening. And he's right here. If he can get a good drive out these last 2 corners, T1 is going to be exciting. Oh, the Aston gets a little squirrely through there. Running defensive. Francois goes up against the pit lane. They 3 abreast. Francois is going to stay there. Ronald Childs. Oh, and he's run very wide. Oh, and he's almost spinning it. I think this position's happened. It has. So Francois had a huge little bit of a squirrely moment coming out of T1. And Childs managed to send the Bentley up the inside. No contact by the looks of it. And that position change. That's second place. Erasmus down to third. And Ronald Childs up into second for BWR. Good racing, gents. Craig Wesley shouting for the Urmi. I'll just say that quietly. But Cherry is Peter Caldenas into 13th place and having a nice clean race in his Lexus. And onwards he goes. Whoopsie. A little bit too much at the curb there. Melvin Trollope shouting for Thomas Trollope. Thomas Trollope, here he is in 15th place, also having a good race. Now, I would like to just confirm this because this made for an interesting start. Thomas Trollope was near the back of the grid for the start of this race. So according to Quali, I don't see him in the top 24. And he's already into 15th place. So Thomas has had a drive back pretty much from the start of the race. And him and Mr. Taylor having a good fight together. They've been going on like this since the start of the race, in fact. And it looks like they're still fighting. Trollope going around the outside or trying to hold on to this position. He now has the inside and Taylor pulls in behind. Oh, and as I say that, no, you can't blame me, Melvin. Forget it. Still having a good race. He's in 16th considering he started 28th or 29th. He must just settle down, stick his head down and go. So Bradley Taylor up into 15th. Up in 7th place, Brandon Holzhausen in his Ferrari. And he's racing for Independent. And he is he's looking at the back of Dylan Dawes, I think. Yes, so Dylan Dawes for Project Peanuts. And yes, in 10 minutes time, apparently the rain stops. Oh dear, Dylan. He got a little bit squirrely coming through the second last corner there in the trap. Sand trap. And onwards he goes. So now we're going to see some action. If anybody hasn't filled up enough and are going to be pitting soon, they need to hang on, because that little map up at the top says in 10 minutes there is no more rain. So let's see what's going to happen there. Back to 17th place. This is Calvin Diogo, man in the other Audi, and he is now caught up again to Thomas Trollope. So the two Audis going at each other again. Yeah, listen, the track will dry out. There isn't sun, but the cars will disperse the water, so the wets are going to start overheating. Next pit stop's going to be the decision. Oh, there's a Ferrari up in the wall up there. Is that Quibus Russ? No, it's not Quibus. Is it Lindsay Hunts? Yes, it was Lindsay Hunts. So Lindsay Hunts, he's seriously battering this Ferrari. Sus, I hope your NSR sponsorship's good to go, because you're going to have some panel beating and some carbon fiber repair jobs happening here for Lindsay Hunts' car. Eleventh place, Jordan van Rensburg on the back of Ryan van Wyk in the Ferrari, and this is 2/10 apart. So yeah, as I was saying, 10 minutes we're going to have dry, no more rain. Oh, Mr. van Rensburg getting very heavy footed with the right foot there. Then the question's going to be when they do pit, which should be around about 45 minutes. So 15 minutes. Oh, look at the send here. Van Rensburg doing another one of those sends, and that's just not going to stick at all, man. And he does a donut sympathetic spin, fixes it all up, and off he goes again. He's certainly trying. Let's make no mistake there, but wow. You got to know when it can, where you're going from, and whether you can send it from that far back, and whether you're going to stop. So some action-packed moves by Mr. van Rensburg. And now Mr. Skuman closing in the Lexus. Yeah, so again, oh, we got a yellow flag now up ahead here. Okay, it all looks good. Everyone's going. Yep, it's all good. So the question's going to be whether it's going to be dry enough to go to a set of slicks, or whether they're going to have to put another set of wets on. And if they do go to slicks, what are the chances it might start raining again before the end of the race, which would then require another pit stop to go back onto the wets. So let's see what happens. Up at the sharp end of the stick, Junior McCall. Now on lap 22, that Mercedes-Benz looks pretty flawless. Youngster is he's like a metronome. He just does them lap after lap. His best lap a 141.1, his last lap a 141.154. In fact, that was his best lap. So the Merc obviously getting a little bit lighter and a little bit less on fuel. And he's I thought he was heading towards the pit lane there, but he's not. He's running in the wet, so he's trying to keep the tires cool, running down the pit wall and looking for wet on the track to help cool the tires down. So Junior working on the theory that in the next 3 to 10 he's going to have to come in and change tires, but it's still raining. And we can see that that Mercedes windscreen wiper is not working, which would say that Junior drives third person or outside the car, I guess. He's arriving on this Lexus and needs to get past as cleanly as possible. Lexus hangs out on the side and through goes Junior. Ronald Childs in the BWR Bentley, and he's 19, almost 20 seconds back, but in a healthy second place. Francois Erasmus in third, and Valerio Antonucci closing in on Francois Erasmus. Here they are, Aston on Aston, so this is going to be a good dice shortly. Oh, quickly, Mario Skuma, quickly. Oh! Second last corner, and look at this. Mario Skuman and Van Rensburg. Oh my word, what is going on? Jeez, Van Rensburg, he does a donut in the middle of the straight. Quickly, let's see if I caught a bit of that on replay. I think maybe he just got a tank slapper. Let's go and have a look. Here they come through the last corner, and the Astons. Oh, there was a little bit of contact, I do believe. I think the Lexus went onto the tried to pull in behind the Aston, and a little bit of contact. That was unlucky. James Stroud for NSRR up in 9th place, all on his lonesome. We've got 4 Ferraris here: Holzhausen, Van Niekerk, Stroud and Van Wyk. So the Ferraris all starting to queue up. And back up to the top, Antonucci closing in on Francois Erasmus. This gap now 3.5 tenths. Hey Brett, on the YouTube, it is still far too early for slicks. I agree, at least 20 minutes. There you can see now the rain has stopped. Officially, there are no more drops. Although the windscreen wipers are going, we don't see anything falling on the cameras. And for the next 30 minutes, it looks like it's just cloudy with no rain. So now we're going to see the drivers start moving around and looking for wet patches to get the temps down on the wet tires. And if anybody does pit in the next 10 minutes, guaranteed they're going to have to pit again, because you can't put another set of wets on. Oh, I guess they could leave. Oh, look at this. Here's a big send. Antonucci on Francois Erasmus. That was a great pass. Gee whiz. He got great drive through that last chicane. And Valeria up into third place now, onto the podium. And you'll see more and more cars will start running on various odd parts of the track. We're going to go from the bonnet of Antonucci, and there's definitely not that much. There is mist still coming off the car ahead, but you can't see wetness on the track too much anymore. So as Brett Crocombe said on the YouTube, it's still at least 10-15 minutes before it's dry enough. Audi's being shown blue flags. We're looking at Calvin Diogo here, and he needs to make way for Antonucci. And just up ahead, there's the other Audi, which is Thomas Trollope. Oh, Calvin catches that one, but he got a big tank slapper for that. Yeah, I got to say, my drive of the day has to go to Thomas Trollope at the moment. Just purely for 16 positions through the thick of the traffic, not lapping. He started way back where, and he is well up. Let's just do a replay save there quickly. Righty ho. Let's see what's going on. Henry Roux, 15th place. Oh, and that's happening. Him and Bradley Taylor, 14th and 15th place, and Henry Roux does send it up the inside through the second hairpin there. So that position's changed. And look at that, Francois Erasmus goes into the pits from 4th. Let's go and see. I wonder what he's putting on. Peter Geldenhuis here in 12th now. Yeah, sorry, Craig. He's just kind of sneaking up on people, and then the position happens. It's not full-on dicing going on, so I'm not watching him. Henry Roux, here we go. Henry Roux and Bradley Taylor. Taylor wanting to come back on Henry. Oh dear, and there was a spin there. That's that Aston Martin again. Oh, Henry having to run defensive because of that Aston that was turned round. I think that was, what's his name, who was doing all the sends? Van Rensburg. It was Van Rensburg. Marius Schumann into the pits. So, here come the pit stops. So, Francois Erasmus has pitted, and he's out in 9th place. So here he is. I'm going to just see what his lap times are and how quick he is or how slow he is. See if this car's in a straight line or if it's sliding. It'll kind of tell us whether he's on slicks or not. Oh, that looks very loose. So I would have to hesitate to guess Francois has put slicks on. Yes. He is struggling, and he's going to struggle to generate heat. But he's the first to gamble, and he has put slicks on. So he will be up to temperature before everyone else, and is going to look to try and undercut everyone ahead of him, and possibly Antonucci again, and Ronald Charles. If he can keep this thing on the track and going in the... yeah, he's running deep there, and so the Ferrari easily comes past. Amrish Sunarain into the pits in his Bentley. Right, Erasmus, his last lap at 2 minutes 42. So that's with the pit stop. Amrish comes out the pits. And Amrish, I'm sure, has also probably put slicks on. There he is in the background. So this for position, essentially. Amrish in 8th, at least Francois ahead of Amrish. Amrish, we need to wait for the timing screen to update. But Francois being very patient here and trying to get some speed. We'll change this view and go to in-car quickly. And there you can see he's 3 seconds slower up at the top. So he is out on slicks and he's struggling to get grip. It's not dry enough. Now 4 seconds. He's getting a blue flag because here comes Junior. So Junior essentially lapped up to 9th place already. And there he runs very deep and off the track, in fact. So here comes Amrish. This is for position change. Amrish has to also be on slicks. I'm convinced. These guys are skating around. Ronald Childs in from 3rd place. And a couple of others down in 15th, 17th, etc. So let's see. It still just says cloudy. Don't see any sign of sun, but there's definitely not that much water left on the track. And the track map says it's still damp. So we're watching Francois as he comes over the line. I'll tell you this lap now. This is a 1:48. So McCall doing a 140. Antonucci and Dawes 141s, 142s. Holzhausen 143. And Francois Erasmus 148. Umrish a 238, as that was his first out the pits, so he's now on a flyer. Oh, that Lexus. That's our man, Mr. Pretorius, I think. I mean, Skummer. No, it's not Mr. Skummer. Oh, and Mr. Pretorius gets a drive-through in his Lexus. Ronald Childs also out the pits, and he's trying to get some heat into his tires, and you can also see he is struggling to find grip. So Antonucci into the pits, Dawes into the pits, Thomas Trollope into the pits. Here we go. It's just under 40 minutes now, 39 minutes. Right, Francois Erasmus, etc. Let's see, Umrish. They're very close here. This is Umrish's first lap now out, and also Erasmus heat getting better. Right, so they come over the line. Francois Erasmus, he's last, was a 48, now 146. Umrish, 145. They are getting quicker, ladies and gents. They are getting quicker. Oh, Dylan Dawes, he gets a stop-go for speeding in the pit lane. And there, arriving in the background, is that green Aston Martin. Mr. Peter Geldenhuys is now in the pits. So it's Jordan van Rensburg, who is arriving on the back of these guys, and he has pitted as well, so he's got tyres up to temp. Right, back up to the sharp end of the stick. Top 5 still to pit, well, top 4. Antonucci's the first man who's pitted. His first lap out is a 148, so he's still trying to get heat in. Ronald Childs behind him also, and this is his first lap out after pit stop. So we'll wait to see what his lap time is. There we go, Mr. Van Niekerk in from 3rd place. Peter Geldenhuys still in the pits, and there behind you can see Odin Racing, the Lexus. Right, let's see what Ronald Childs does. He is closing in on the back of Antonucci. Antonucci does a 240, Ronald Childs a 145. Oh, hard braking, wow. Junior in the pits. Here come the leaders. So Junior's in, as is Van Niekerk. And this is now the chance. Antonucci and Childs need to now make hay, and as much and as quickly as possible. You can hear they're still feathering through some of the quick sections. They can't flat out there, so the guys are hanging on and trying to control the cars. Oh, careful. Oh gosh, you can't get much closer than that. Charles in the back of Antonucci. Right, Junior McCall's out. 31 laps. He has done a change, and we can see there is a dry line slowly forming. Antonucci struggling, Charles trying to do different lines, and behind them Odin Racing. That's Rob Walker. He hasn't pitted yet. Right, these are quick laps now. Antonucci last lap at 240 at the pits. Charles a 145. Let's see now. And Tanucci a 146. Ronald Childs a 146. So they're not getting quicker, but they are racing each other, and I think that's why. Oh, there's a good pass. And Tanucci runs very deep through T1, and Ronald sends one up on the inside. Position change. Ronald Childs goes back up to 4th. So ahead of him is Holtzhausen and Stroud still to pit. Let's go and see how Junior's doing. His last lap a 149. He has to also be on slicks. He has to. So this should be now a quick lap. This will probably be about a 145 or 144 even. Oh, sorry. Right, this is his first out the pits, a 231. So he's now starting his first fast lap. So we're looking to find the first sub 140 lap times, because that'll give us an inclination of the track getting quicker. And there is still 35 minutes left. Weather still says cloudy for the next up to 10 minutes, or with time progression, I think that's 30 minutes then. Okay, 9th place, Bradley Taylor. Bradley Taylor and Umrish. Bradley Taylor still to pit. He is still out on his rain tires, and they must be red. Well overheated by now. Umrish is out. Umrish's last lap time was a 146. Bradley a 143 on the wets. So still managing to put quick lap times in, and the slicks not going as fast as they should be. But if that's all you had as far as petrol goes, there comes the Aston in. So that's is that Dylan Dawes? It is. Dylan Dawes coming in for his stop and go. And Thomas Trollope down in 20th. He's brought the Audi in. You can hear it. There he is. Oh dear, is that Lexus up against the wall again there? It wasn't Marius, it's the other Lexus. I think it's Jotun. No, not Jotun. Pretorius. Yes, here he comes, managing to get going. So, Hero Pretorius, here we go. Part of SRE Apex with Marius. So gee, a lot of cars have left. We are down to 26 cars. Gerard is last. This man is last on the track. James Leach is unfortunately left for OC Breweries. Frank Swekela. Yassine Manuel's still here, he's in 25th. And Emily Bent's doing very well for herself, and she is in 24th. And just lapping and gaining experience. Donovan Danoon, here he is in his Porsche for Brand Circle Motorsports, and Donovan is in 22nd. Right, jumping back up to the front end of the stick because we've got more people in the pits. So, Junior McCall in the lead. Holtzhausen and Stroud still to pit, but Ronald Childs now in 3rd. Ronald Childs last lap a 142.9. Junior McCall a 142.4. Now the slicks are getting there. The track still says damp, but the times are the same as what the wet tire times are. McCall's quickest on wets was a 140.6. That's the quickest lap time by everyone. His last lap on slicks was a 142.3. Ronald Childs, who we're watching, his quickest a 41.4 and his last lap a 42.9. So he's almost there or thereabouts now, where that graph changes. Track has gone from damp to greasy. So the track is progressing, and we have a 30-minute time limit left. So we're still in for a good dice here, ladies and gents. Ronald Childs, a 142.4. Hunt's in the pits for NSRR. Oh, Ronald Childs having a bad moment there. Still struggling. It is greasy, so it's not optimum grip at all yet. Does need to still be careful. Unfortunately, there are no close gaps or dices at the moment anywhere that I can switch to. Everyone's got very well spread out now. Peter Caldenas, after his pit stop, he's out and going, and in 17th. Oh, and this Lexus, that was you, Mr. Caldenas. Well, he managed to catch that, but he was all out of shape there. Lindsay Hunt's in the pits, and Calvin Diogo. So last stops for them. Still Rob Walker for Odin Racing to pit. He's pushing that Lexus. It must be running on fumes at the moment. Sass saying Lindsay dropping down the field. Yep, he must be doing some repairs. Okay, he's out the pits. No, he's still in the pits, but he's rolling, I think. Yep, now he's out the pits. And he's in 19th. Calvin Diogo's been in the pits a long time. He's obviously... Okay, he's out the pits. So he probably also did a repair job. Right, track still greasy, and anticipated weather still cloudy, so no more rain. Lap times. Junior McCall, here he comes. Let's see what this is. It's a 41.7. He's closing in. His quickest of 40.6. So he is 1 second away from his quickest lap time on the wets. Brandon Holzhausen finally pits with 27 minutes to go. So he's literally done an hour 5, an hour 3 minutes kind of thing. So he ran the Ferrari dry. James Stroud still out in third place for NSRR. And this Ferrari is literally on fumes. He will be pitting in the next lap or two. That'll then bring Childs back up into second place. Valerio Antonucci up into third place. And we wait for that to happen. You are watching the Sim Race South Africa 2021.2 season, Division 2 of the GT series. And there's a bit of teamwork going on. That was James Stroud on the radio shouting at Steve Kenny, "Oi, move over, watch it, chips, chip." And he just had to get the Mercedes out the way. But no contact made, all safe, no problems. Sass can breathe again. Sass, are you in comms with the guys or not? Are you on radio with them now? There's Valerio, Project Peanuts Vale, and just behind him we can see his teammate in the other Aston. He's having a bit of a dice. Tell you what, Jordan's had a huge race this evening. Good couple of lick it and send it moments. So certainly showing some potential. Currently in 14th with very close off the back of his teammate. Now, just don't drive into the back of your teammate, Jordan. Next to each other, through the last corner. Careful. Let's see what we shall see now. And the pass is made. Right into T1. Is there a reverse lick and send happening? There is! Jeez, I thought there was going to be contact there amongst these guys. And all this racing is allowing that other Aston in the background to catch up. That's Valerio Antonucci. Let me confirm that. It is. That's Valerio Antonucci, who's just let his teammate go by. And while that's happening, he's just let Francois Erasmus go past him. So Francois Erasmus has gone back up into net third place. So is Valerio having some problems with his Aston Martin or problems with his tyres? Because he let his teammate Van Rensburg go past and now Erasmus just went past him. Oh, alright, sorry. So you still at work, Sass? All good? Thought you'd be chatting with the guys and giving them updates. Right, so 23 minutes to go, and your man James Stroud there in the background, Amrish Sinoran just nudging that Audi out the way and then literally driving off the track. What is Amrish doing? I saw that happening. Oh, that's going to have hurt him big time. There was a little bit of contact with the Audi, and then he just kind of drove to the right and hit the grass, and now you see what the result of that was. So come on, Amrish, get it together. Hopefully it's not too much damage. Good man to put your hazards on. I think he's got a steering issue. Let's go and have a look. Oh yes, he's struggling to turn this car, and the steering's at 12 and 6. So he's coming to the pit lane. Yes. Slow down. Good man. Oh, that hurt. That was a big impact. So a bit of repair work. He's going to lose a few positions there. Bad luck. Bad luck, Amrish. Right, James Stroud through the final corner. Is he coming in yet? He's not. He must be siphoning fuel from a tank next to him. McCall. His last lap a 140.7. His quickest a 140.6. He's now within 100th of his fastest wet lap time. So it's taken, as Brett Crocombe said, the best part of 20 minutes. Because we were in the 50 minutes when that happened. 30 minutes, almost half an hour for these tyres to come on song and to get up to the same pace as the wets were. So even with time progression, the track certainly doesn't dry as fast as we thought it was, but here we go. We should see Junior sub a 140 in the next lap or two, I'm sure. Track is still greasy, the temperature is 16 degrees, and look, there's sun. The weather now shows sun just around the clouds. So Amri's still in the pits getting repaired, so he's still in 10th, but he's going to lose positions. Just hanging around with Junior now to see what his lap time is. And it is a 140.5. That is now his quickest lap time. So almost sub 40s. And someone's off here in front of him. There it is. It's that Lexus. So they're going again. Hero Pretorius really struggling, but at least he's out there and doing laps. But with all the people that disconnected, he is 26th place. And we started with 32 cars. So a lot of people gone. Robert Walker for Odin Racing doing well, and he's in 25th. Yassine Manuel in his Porsche in 24th place. Big gaps amongst all the drivers right now. There are no real close deltas anywhere up and down the grid. Emily Bentz in 23rd, just doing what she needs to do and keeping. Oh, and there's a Lexus spin. Oh, and it's Rob Walker. Rob Walker in the Lexus with another Lexus. Was that Peter Gelderneys? It wasn't. Peter's running. Right, Rob's running again. It could have been Henry Roux that he had contact with. So Emily Bentz, as I was saying, in 22nd and going quick all the time. It was Jotun. Oh, and there's more contact here. Cars at the second hip and the Aston Martin struggling, and there was another car in the barrier there. There's a whole lot of dramas going on here. What is happening? Cars are struggling to get grip, or they're pushing too hard. Thomas Trollope, he's left us. Can you believe it? Thomas Trollope went from the back of the grid to the last time I saw him around about 14th or 15th, and he's disconnected. So I'll withdraw my drive of the day for the disconnection. Calvin Diogo in 20th in his Audi. And Francois Erasmus in the pits. Is that again? I think it must be. Why is Francois Erasmus in the pits again? Peter Gelden has taken positions that will... Oh, and there's a Lexus around again up at the top of the screen. Peter Gelden is still here in 13th place, so he's maybe got one or two positions, yeah. He's going to pass Mr. Erasmus, who's in the pits. You can see he's still in the pits. I don't understand that. Maybe he didn't put enough fuel in, or he put the wrong tires on. But Francois Erasmus has just thrown a good result out the window here. He was dicing with Ronald Childs for 2nd and 3rd and 4th. So Mr. Geldenes goes up into 12th with that position change. Just up ahead of him, it's Marius Skuman. And Junior McCall, last lap, a 140.2. Taking a long time to get under the 140s. So the track is, we can see shadows at last. So the sun is now out, and the track should be going from greasy to green or fast in the next couple of minutes. Still 17 minutes of this race left. Junior McCall out in the lead from Mr. Ronald Childs by a whole bunch of seconds. It's almost a whole lap. It's well over a minute. Francois Erasmus is still in the pits. So I think maybe he's had a hardware failure or a problem. Okay, now he's just left the pits. So maybe he had a huge accident and escaped to pits. In which case he would have then had to have his... he sat for 2.5 minutes while his controls were locked. That's all I can think of. That's why he was in the pits. Maybe he just got into a huge accident and escaped to pits. Is he left or is he still here? 21st. Gee. Now, he's still here, he's out and running, but from 3rd or 4th all the way down to 21, so that's bad luck for Mr. Erasmus. Junior McCall, a 139.450. So he is sub 40s. It's finally come. And as you can see, the sun is now out and out. He is going past Calvin Diogo in the Audi. Calvin gives him the gap. And Junior heads back over the around the final corner onto the start finish. Lots of blue flags, as you can see, a whole lot of traffic. So his last lap of 40.0, so everyone going to be going quicker. Brandon Holzhausen, a 138.9. So he's seriously pushing the Ferrari, and he's up to pace quickly on still a greasy track. Track temperature up to 17 degrees. Kubis Russ. Joten van Aswegen. He's looking at the back of Calvin Diogo's Audi. This gap is close, 8/10 apart. I think it's Joten's been having a few issues with the Lexus, but anyway, he's here and he's in a dice. And just behind him is Francois Erasmus. Calvin Diogo runs deep there, and that lets Joten go up the inside in the Lexus. And that position change happens. That's 19th place. Francois Erasmus going to be coming at a rate now because he had huge pace earlier on in the race, and as I say, was up in 3rd or 4th. So he's going to be literally just driving past cars as he tries to progress as quickly as possible and as high as possible. Rubus Russ just up ahead, and they're just going past Mr. Denoon. Donovan, who keeps out of the way in the Porsche and just lets the traffic go through. And Joten's right there behind him in the Lexus. And behind Joten is Calvin Diogo in the Audi. So all of a sudden we got 5 cars here within a second of each other for 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. Joten also racing for NSRR, although he's running a default car livery here. Oh, Donovan Denoon into the pits again. So I said he pitted way too early. He was one of the first pit stops, so he's had to come in again, and this is a quick splash and dash, I'm sure, and maybe a fresh set of boots. Right, just under 11 minutes to go. It's been a good, exciting race. Oh, there we go. Track's gone green. So track temp at 17. It's progressed from greasy to green. Not optimum yet, but the guys should be at least experiencing decent grip. Looking at the timing sheets, I'm seeing everybody on Yeah, Junior McCall into the 137.7s from just now. Oh dear, and these two have come together here. I was looking at the timing screen. Let's quickly just get that replay and watch what happens there. Joten van Aswegen, so Sus not going to be too impressed as the teammates come together. Let's watch on the replay. Joten just closing in on the Ferrari. Up over the top of the hill. He has huge pace. The Ferrari's braking. And the Lexus just runs into the back of him. So Joten much quicker than Quibus at that point, and contact is made. Anyway, all good. Not too serious. Junior, 46 laps. About to start lap 47 with just on 9.5 minutes to go. His last lap of 1:38.1. Quickest man on the track, however, is Brandon Holzhausen in third place in his Ferrari. And that last lap he did was a 1:37.590. He is at least 7/10 quicker than Junior and pushing hard in the Ferrari. But 5 seconds off the back of Ronald Childs. So I told him not to dive. Yeah, there was no dive. That was just Quibus braking and Joten feeling he didn't have to brake at that part of the track, and there was a bit of rearward into the car aheadward action. Ruben saying Hein van Niekerk is closing in on Valerio Antonucci, and in fact here they are. So Hein van Niekerk in the LLC Racing Ferrari, he is right here on the back of Valerio Antonucci. Valerio and his teammate, and there's more diving and action going on there. So Antonucci letting his teammate Van Rensburg go past. So we're looking at the red Ferrari, and while we're doing that, there's also, oh my word, that Bentley, and that was Jordan, and now Jordan hits another car. Right, this man needs to be explained nicely how to rejoin onto the track, because that's not how you do it. Team Project Peanuts. Jordan van Rensburg. No, sir. In through the final corner. Hein van Niekerk chasing down Antonucci again. The gap now extended a little bit. 1.3 seconds. The gap's now down to half a second again. And there's a car 128, this other Bentley, which is being lapped. Oh no, that's Craig Hunter. Craig Hunter must be a lap down here. But he's looking to try and unlap himself with these guys. Here we go. Van Niekerk looking. Van Niekerk wanting to do a lick and send up the inside there. And now he's got... Craig can't get past though because he is a lapped car. So Van Niekerk trying to work out how to get past Antonucci. And also not to get in the way here. Holzhausen on Ronald Childs. That gap was 5 seconds. It's now 2.8 seconds. So second and third is closing up. Holzhausen in the Ferrari is going like the wind. We're down to 6 minutes. So going to be difficult to watch everyone. And there's that Lexus again in the sand. Mario Schumann's teammate, I think. There's a good drive here for the Ferrari. Van Niekerk. And look here, Antonucci running defensive on the pit wall. Van Niekerk going up the outside, around the outside into T1, goes very deep. Can he get the drive? does get the drive, but there's a little bit of a tap, but he's had to lift. And Antonucci holds on to the position. But Van Niekerk wanting to get by, make no mistake. The Ferrari looking at passing the Aston. Holzhausen, 2.4 seconds now of Charles. I'm just keeping my eye on the deltas. So these are the closest dices on the track at the moment. That Bentley, you got to feel Craig Hunter wanting to just quickly come past there, but he can't. Craig Hunter on lap 47, the guys ahead of him 48, so he is in fact a lap back. And you can actually see in dry weather he's much quicker than these guys. Sass commenting on James Stroud, who's in 4th place. I am kind of watching that, dice. Holzhausen, he's coming. I'll tell you what, Ronald Charles, that's the gap. Ronald Charles is going to lose 2nd place because this is 4 minutes 10 seconds. It's essentially 3 more laps from here. And Holzhausen closing in on Ronald Charles. This gap was 5 seconds 2 laps ago, I think. So Holzhausen way quicker. Ronald Charles last lap a 1:39.0. Holzhausen a 1:38.1. 1 second on the last lap. Let's see what happens here. Hein van Niekerk again. He's right there as well. So I'm just jumping this only 1/10. So they're close here. Right, Ronald Charles does a 1:38.9, Brandon Holzhausen a 1:38.0. So 2 close gaps to watch what's going on here. This between 3rd and 2nd, and the one we're watching here between Van Niekerk and Antonucci. And poor old Craig Hunter just behind them in the much quicker looking Bentley, but he can't really go past these guys, so he's going to interfere with their race, and he's a lap down. Holzhausen under a second now. He's right here. It's the traffic. The traffic is slowing Charles down. And Charles goes into the back of the Aston. That is that Aston again, Mr. van Rensburg, and that hasn't helped him at all. Ronald Charles is right. He's in big trouble there. The Aston spins again. So Brandon Holzhausen looking now, and 2 minutes 20. They're still at least 2 laps from here. Yeah, James not closing in on these guys, I don't think, Sass. It's more like Holzhausen closing in on Charles. But James won't catch this Ferrari, that's for sure. Okay, the gap's 4 tenths as they come onto the start-finish line. If Holzhausen gets a good drive here, he'll get into the draft of that big Bentley. And he does. Charles up against the wall. Holzhausen comes down the outside of the main straight. He's next to him. Late braking, he goes right around the outside of the Bentley. Holzhausen. They're now side by side. Does he get a good enough drive? Charles holds onto the inside as they go into the right-hand kink, and now Holzhausen, oh no, he's got to brake and lift. That was, for a brief moment, he was in 2nd place. Right, 1 minute 20 seconds to go. This it's this lap and one more. He's going to bide his time. He's going to wait for the right moment, but it looked like that was the right moment. He had way better drive onto the start-finish line. Charles must either, he's probably struggling with the tires in the big Bentley, or he got his pressures wrong. But he's definitely not as fast as Brandon Holzhausen. Brandon's waiting, biding his time. Here they come now down to the last couple of corners. Now he's got to start getting a little shuffle on. And there's traffic just up ahead of Charles. There is traffic there, which is going to help them onto the start-finish line. Holzhausen closes in now. Second last corner. Now he's got to get the drive. And he's right here. And he's sending it. He is right here. This pass will be done before T1. He throws it up the inside. It's passed. The pass has happened before they get to the start-finish line. Holzhausen goes into second place on the last lap. Oh, runs a little bit wide. Charles hanging on. No, he has fallen in behind him. So pass done and dusted with 1 lap to go. Some good clean racing there. Very good tactical driving. And it's all done and dusted. Sorry, Junior, we didn't even see it happen, but there it is. Junior over the start-finish line. Yeah, need to get your car out the way. Brandon Holzhausen in second place. He was literally a whole lap back. So Junior lapped the whole field up to second place. We'll stick with these guys. There's a whole lot of traffic. Oh, careful. Oh, my word. That almost affected Brandon Holzhausen. He needs to just get through this traffic. These guys are all seem to... Oh, and there's these Lexuses. Plural. Lights are on. Brandon's trying to come through the traffic, as is Ronald Childs in the Bentley. Ronald's going up the inside. The Ferrari goes deep. Hammers into that Bentley, then into the Ferrari. He's trying anything he can just to get through this traffic. And the Bentley comes through with him, but I think that's it. Holzhausen's going to make this second place stick, and Ronald Childs will hang on for third. Shit, last couple of moves there was a real bit dodge. And over the line. James Stroud in the pit. Everybody else is finished. That's it, done and dusted. Pretty much walk in the park for young Junior McCall, who that was my prediction, and it happened. So awesome race for him and everybody else. We ended up with only 22 cars left on the track. No, it was a bit more than that, but this is due to the disconnections. Right, ladies and gents, I think that's the coverage done. I don't think Junior's the man who wants to have a chat. But anyway, I am going to say thank you to everybody. Rob, thanks very much. Thanks for being there. Ruben Kruger, well done. To Hein for taking 5th in the last 3 laps. I'm sorry we did miss that one. And Anthony Moritz, Craig Wesley, Sass, everybody who was here on the YouTube. Thank you for the company. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and we will catch up with you next week Monday. Next week Monday is what is next week Monday? Let me have a look at the calendar. I think it's the Legends. I think either Legends, the Minis, or Touring Cars. So, yep, we'll catch up with you then. But thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll chat soon. So, from me, cheers.